You know, it's so interesting. For so long, the Christmas season begins the day after Thanksgiving, and usually it ends the evening of Christmas Day or the evening of New Year's Day, when everybody takes down their decorations and believe that Christmas is over. And the 12 days of Christmas are missed. But maybe this year, because of the pandemic, we will appreciate the 12 days of Christmas even more. And this week, January 6th, is the real celebration of the Epiphany, which we did celebrate last weekend. So perhaps we really need to enter into the 12 days of Christmas and experience that kind of peace and reflect upon the Magi. Now, one of the great poets of our century is a man by the name of T.S. Eliot, who wrote the poem, The Journey of the Magi. In the poem, the Magi bitterly complain about their journey to Bethlehem. What a horrible time of the year. It's so far, they say. It takes so long to get there. The prices are high. The camels are ornery. That's the first stanza. All of a sudden, in the second stanza, the whole tone of the poem changes. They've arrived in Bethlehem. The complaining stops. The mood is one of peace. Interestingly, they don't talk of Mary or Joseph or even Jesus, but they reflect on what happened to them because something changed inside them. The poem goes, the second stanza goes, all this was a long time ago. I remember, and I would do it again, but set this down, set this down. Were we led all that way for birth or death? There was a birth, certainly. We had evidence, and no doubt. I had seen birth and death, but had thought they were different. This birth was hard and bitter agony for us. Like death, we return to our places, these kingdoms, but no longer at ease here in the old dispensation, when an alien people clutching their gods. I should be glad of another death. The Magi thought it would be an easy journey to a simple birth. They never expected that it would be such a struggle for them. They never expected that it would be so demanding. They never expected that it would cost them something. They never expected that it would have such a tremendous impact on their lives, that it would change them radically, that they would be totally different people. They would leave Bethlehem and never be at ease in the old dispensation. They would not feel comfortable doing the same that they had done before. They experienced a death of one part of themselves and a birth of another. You know, I believe that this poem speaks to all of us. Life is always been and will be a challenging journey. Life is full of births and deaths, of letting go to enter new life, especially this past year. I believe that our God is always calling us to arrive at Bethlehem each year and experience the birth of the Christ in a new and powerful way. Our journey to Bethlehem this year has been wrought with tremendous challenges. But you know, God works through these challenges, as painful as they have been, so that we can experience a new birth. and die to the old. The Magi complained. It was a bitter journey. We complain too because we've been on a bitter journey. But all of a sudden the Magi stopped when they got to Bethlehem and experienced this God who took upon our flesh. And something radical changed in the Magi. They experienced a birth and a death. They had an epiphany. We must now stop, as we are at Bethlehem, and experience the God who took upon our flesh. Experience God in a new way. Have a birthing experience. Die to our old selves, because we are different people. Hopefully stronger, more faithful, different priorities, different perspective on life, closer to our families. As the Magi could not go back to the old dispensation, neither can we. No longer be at ease clutching at our old gods. Eliot has the Magi ask, were we led all this way for birth or death? It was both. How about us? What has died in us? What has been birthed in us? Something powerful happened to the Magi as they reflected on it, and something powerful has happened to us. Let us reflect on it. As I stated, this weekend we end the Christmas season as we celebrate the baptism of the Lord. Baptism is about new beginnings, being cleansed and renewed, dying to the old, being born again. So did we experience a birth? Did we experience a death? Have we had an epiphany that has changed our lives? Let us begin anew. Let us take seriously our baptism and connect it to the past year and the newness of this year. And may the spirit of Christmas always penetrate all of our lives. And let us keep each other in prayer, especially during these next few months, which they're telling us will be difficult. We can do it. God's grace is with us. We can survive this. We've done it in the past. We can continue to do it. Peace to all.